Hello, I am a Spiceman and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I will be going over the Bonedust Brew playstyle of Windwalker Monk instead of the Skyreach playstyle. But before I go into that, I want to quickly mention that in my next video I will be answering all of your questions that you have been posting on my other videos. So I will do a FAQ video or a Q&A video or something like that. So if you have any other questions, be sure to post them in the comments and I will try to answer them as good as possible. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So, as usual, I'm gonna start off by showing you my talents, and these are my talents for the Bonedust Brew playstyle. And as you can see, I've changed around this tree a little bit from the Skyreach video I did, but this tree is basically exactly the same except for this talent being changed. So to explain my changes here is that I really enjoy playing with the improved touch of death because it makes it way easier to actually snipe it. Because sniping it when something has 150 to 100k can be a little tricky, because the DPS of some classes right now, they can just crit for like 250k and it's impossible for you to snipe it. So playing with this is a little bit better in my opinion. And also I've just resigned from White Tiger statue. I think it's a waste of a global, basically. But yeah, to talk about this actual tree, you can actually drop Fury of Xuen and go Skyreach instead. The only problem I feel by doing that in Mythic Plus specifically is that you lose a lot of single target DPS. So doing this in Mythic Plus will probably 99% of the time be a loss in overall DPS, but for continuous AOE cleave, where there's like 5 targets plus, going Skyreach over Fury of Xuen will be a damage increase. But since Mythic Plus is a lot of single targets as well, in total it will be a damage loss. And also I feel like if you want to go Bonedust Brew, you are doing it because you don't want to go Skyreach. That's what I feel, at least what I've been doing, because Skyreach is a bit of an annoying ability to use because it can land you in very dangerous situations where the tank has maybe a frontal or like something on the ground and you just jump into it and you just die. So playing with Bonedust Brew is a bit safer in that sense. So playing with both will, in my opinion, is just unnecessary. So before we dive into everything, I want to mention that this is basically a follow-up slash update video of my last Mythic Plus guide. So if you haven't checked it out, be sure to do that because it goes over everything very, very well from what I've heard by you viewers. So please be sure to watch that before you watch this, so there's no confusion. If you don't want to, just ask me questions and I will hopefully answer them in my next video. Okay, so what is the difference playing with Bonedust Brew compared to Skyreach? That is a very, very large question. Like, will there be a damage difference? Is the playstyle different? Is the difficulty different? And I will be answering these questions right now. So first of all, I want to answer the difficulty question, and playing with Bonedust Brew is easier. That's just the way it is. It's just less things to min-max. The only thing you need to min-max is having Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury up, basically. You just want to put out as much damage as you can in your Bonedust Brew window. While if you're playing with Skyreach, you need to apply the Skyreach buff to all your targets, and every single time you apply it, you need to be sure that you can do a lot of damage in those 6 seconds. So it's a lot more min-maxy playstyle to play with the Skyreach, I feel. So Bonedust Brew, in a sense, is way more forgiving. So is there actually a damage difference of it? In single target, yes. Skyreach will deal more damage in single target if you play it correctly. But in AoE, it's not really that much of a difference. You need to play Skyreach very, very perfectly in order to deal this more damage than Bonedust Brew, but you can deal more damage with Skyreach. If you play it correctly, if you play it like perfect, it is actually better. Skyreach is better. But if you feel like it's way too hard to apply the Skyreach buff to every single target and min-max, I suggest you play Bonedust Brew, because as I've said, it's way more forgiving, and Bonedust Brew still slaps. It's still an amazing ability. And lastly, the playstyle will be almost exactly the same, except you don't have to go around every single target and apply the Skyreach debuff. So as I've said, it's easier. So just to show you what it will look like, you will start off before the pull with an Expel Harm. Then you will She Burst. This is only if there is time to do a She Burst. If the tank is already pulled, you don't want to just stand there for like, what is it, 2-3 seconds and just cast the She Burst. That is a huge damage loss. But if the tank is about to pull and you can She Burst into a roll, that is a damage increase, because you will get 2 to 3 She just by doing that. So that is just quickly explained. So this will be a demonstration if the tank is about to go in and you can do the She Burst into a roll. So She Burst, or I will Expel Harm, She Burst into a roll, and then it's Xuen, Storm with the Fire into Bonedust Brew. And I want to quickly also mention that if you don't have Xuen up, it doesn't matter. It will be exactly the same, just without the Xuen. But you always want to use Storm with the Fire with Bonedust Brew. You never want to use one or the other. So that is a kind of min-max thing you can do as a monk, but also very important. So it's very important to think about syncing your cooldowns, so you don't end up just using one ability after one ability after one ability, and they just end up desynced throughout the dungeon. You will try to sync them up. So if you have to wait 10 seconds, just do that. It's better if they keep being synced instead of being out of sync all the time, because you don't want to wait for them one or the other ability to be up. I hope I made sense, but essentially keep them synced. Use at least 2 of the CDs at the same time. Don't just use one. Okay, so let's not waste any more time, and I will dive into the actual AoE opener and rotation. So I will start off with an Expel Harm, She Burst into a roll. I will use my CDs, Tiger Palm, throw down Bonedust Brew, strike up Windlord, Fist of Fury. Tiger Palming a new target, spinning Crane Kick, Tiger Palm, spinning Crane Kick, Tiger Palm, spinning Crane Kick, I got one off, and Blackout Kick because I was about to overcap. And then you just keep doing this. Getting Fist of Fury back, so I'm gonna wait till that's up. Gonna keep a look out for the spin Crane Kick debuff, so nothing is running out. Don't want to overcap my Blackout Kick. So you only want to do 3 Tiger Bombs, then you want to do a Blackout Kick, so you don't overcap. Blackout Kick, got a proc on spinning Crane Kick, that is very important to use. Got another proc, but I don't want to use it right after I use a spinning Crane Kick, because then you will lose your hit combo and your mastery. And you want to use the spinning Crane Kick after you have fully casted the Fist of Fury, because it will still be there. I promise you. The buff will still be there. Don't be tempted just to use it if you're in the Fist of Fury. It will be there when you have finished casted Fist of Fury. Don't you worry. So, as you can see, right now I got my Storm with the Fire and Bonedust Brew up. I actually had Storm with the Fire up before Bonedust Brew, but I didn't use it because I don't want to use it without anything else. So right there, you want to wait for your Bonedust Brew to be up before you use your second Storm with the Fire. And then your third Storm with the Fire, in a sense, you use with Xuen and another Bonedust Brew. So that is basically how the rotation will go on and on and on and on throughout the entire dungeon. And also something I see people do a lot is they overcap the Blackout Kick. It's not a huge thing, but it's still very bad to do in a sense, because you're just not using an ability that is meant to be used, right? So as you can see, spinning or Tiger Palm, spinning Crane Kick, Tiger Palm, spinning Crane Kick, Tiger Palm, spinning Crane Kick. And what I see here, people just use another Tiger Palm. but they shouldn't. You should use the spinning crane kick because it still does a lot of damage. You see I crit 20k like 3 times there, and it also hits other targets. So if you have 3 stacks, just use a blackout kick. Don't just keep spamming Tiger Palm. It is not bueno. Okay, so going into the single target playstyle of it. It's very, very similar to the AoE. The only thing you are gonna do different is that you're not gonna be casting spinning crane kick at all, almost. I will go into that, but you will instead cast Rising Sun Kick. So as you can see in AoE, I didn't cast Rising Sun Kick once, and basically in single target, you don't want to cast spinning crane kick. The only time you want to cast spinning crane kick, and it is actually very important that you cast it, is if you have Bonedust Brew down and you get a proc. So let's see if I can fish for a proc now. If I don't just watch it still, it will still be the correct way to play single target. So you will do the exact same, except Bell Harm. I will do She Burst and into roll, cast my cooldowns, Tiger Palm, Bonedust Brew, Strike of the Windlord, and Fist of Fury. And here you see I have procs because my Storm and Fire are going on the wrong target, but whatever. The playstyle is still the same. So here you see I got a proc. Well, I have 5 stacks, but yeah. Even if you have 1 stack, it is still always worth to use. If you have Bonedust Brew down, it's still always worth to cast Spinning Crane Kick because it's just a free She and you don't spend any energy, you don't spend any She, and it's more damage than the Tiger Palm anyways. So yeah, definitely use your Spinning Crane Kick procs if you have Bonedust Brew down. It is 100% of the time worth it. Okay, but how will the actual rotation look like once you're in a single target situations? Because the burst is one thing, but how will you actually maximize your damage? So what you want to do is you want to always have these 3 abilities on cooldown. You will try to always be able to use them, and that is basically just getting a feel of how much haste you have, so like how much your energy regen is and how much She you can have and spend and whatever. But you will always want to be able to use your abilities once you have them up, because sometimes you might be in a situation where you have all 3 abilities up and you have no She and you're like, you have no energy and you're just standing there like a fool. You can't use any abilities and you're just in a very bad spot and you won't deal any damage at all. That is a very bad spot to be in. So that's why I recommend just trying it out on a training dummy, honestly. I know it's super boring, but like it's one of the best ways to actually get a feel of the spec. And also like in between your cooldowns, don't spend too much She, don't spend too much energy. It is okay to wait for your energy to go up. As long as you don't reach 110, 110, if you keep it below 100, 110 energy, it's not the damage loss. I promise you, it won't be a damage loss. It's way better to use that energy and to get more She once you have your cooldowns up. Because you deal way more damage in your cooldowns. So yeah, that is just a quick thing, like what to think of in the single target, because the single target is harder to actually maximize damage than in AoE. But yeah, the priorities will be the same. It's Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, and Rising Sun Kick. So always want to prioritize your Strike of the Windlord. It's an amazingly high damaging ability. So I will just quickly also mention your defensive abilities, because a dead DPS does no DPS, right? So looking over your defensives, you will have Touch of Karma, you will have Fortifying Brew, and you will have Diffuse Magic. You can go Dampen Harm as well, but I feel like 3 defensives is enough, and this will be just an overall better. This is from what I've seen or from what I've been testing, but if you want to go on a 4th defensive, you can do that. It doesn't matter. Touch of Karma is 100% your best defensive ability because it also deals damage to your target, but you don't want to be using this on cooldown. So if you're not going to take any damage, don't use this ability because then it will be 100% useless. But you can actually use it and stand in stuff just to deal more damage. It's kind of cheesy, I know, but if you practice it and perfect it, it's so awesome. You can just tank anything. And going over to Fortifying Brew is just a nice damage decrease, reducing damage you take by 20% and also increasing your HP by 15%. I mean, it's just awesome, okay? And Diffuse Magic, it's a bit different. So all of these are a bit different. That's why I like taking all three. Diffuse Magic, you reduce the incoming damage by 60%, and like for 6 seconds you decrease your magic damage taken. But the main thing about playing with Diffuse Magic is that you can actually dispel yourself if you have a magic debuff on you. So this alleviates a lot of like pressure from the healer, which means you can the healer don't have to dispel you and they can dispel someone else, for example. So there is actually Weak Aura. I should be able to link it down below in the description. What this Weak Aura will do is that it will show you if you have a magic debuff that you can dispel with Diffuse Magic. And this is amazing to play with. So this will probably save your life a lot of times in dungeons. And also maybe in a few raid encounters. I can't think of one now, but especially in Mythic Plus it will save you. So the TLDR version of this is basically always use 2 cooldowns at the same time. Never use 1 cooldown by its own. In your Bonedust Brew window, you want to use as many high damaging abilities as possible. So don't use Bonedust Brew if some of these are on cooldown. And also keep your spinning crane kick debuffs up, so you always have 5 spinning crane kick stacks. Try to keep a track on it over the target, or however you want to track it, because that is one of your main damaging abilities, so you never want to drop that. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helped you. If you have any questions, if you want me to go over something else, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I will hopefully get back to you either in the comments or in my next video, where I will be answering a lot of the questions from the comment section. You can also go to my Twitch when I'm live and ask me there. I answer every single question when I'm live on Twitch. And also my Twitch is basically just me having fun with my fiance, playing some Mythic Plus or raiding or whatever. So if you want to check that out, be sure to do, because we have a lot of fun. So yeah. But yeah, that's it. See you next time, guys. Bye.